I learned that there's so much value in community and relationships.
I learned so much, not just classroom knowledge, but actual practical life knowledge.
We're learning a lot about like the cultures we were in and really trying to like immerse ourselves and get to know people and like try to figure out what it's really like to live there.
Have a better perspective of the missions field, definitely, so I know more about what I want to go into.
Be in a different culture and learn how to live how they do.
You're learning about the world and how God's created everyone differently.
I learned so much about myself, about God, about the culture and the people there.
It was just really cool to get out and have like a classroom be the world. It was just a chance to not just be at a desk or watching a PowerPoint. It was exploring and seeing all these different cultures.
You begin to build relationships that are so much longer lasting.
And it really gives you a chance to experience a new normal and connect to people in so many new ways.
Whoever wants to go on semester abroad, I just challenge them to do it, even though it might be really stressful at times, even though it might be stretching at times, but it's going to be the best experience you've ever had of your life.
Yeah, there's cultural differences, but if you're willing to be part of that culture, or if your heart is really for ministering to those people and going where God leads you, then it's definitely possible.
Finances are an issue. God provides. If you're worried about being away from a loved one, like, God holds up and He maintains those relationships.
It's a chance to grow closer to God, to make friends that you might not make.
It was definitely awesome going to China and experiencing a culture so dramatically different than the United States.
I got to see people over and over again. I got to get to know the culture so much better because I was seeing it and I was living it and I was experiencing it.
You're living in it. Like, you're living in the community, you're living in their world, so you get to embrace it.
You really have to, it's not just reading and memorizing for a test, it's like trying to like problem solve, and you're actually putting it into practice.
But when you spend 4 months somewhere, you actually make those your lifestyles and your patterns, and that is what really sinks in a little deeper, that allows you to come back and integrate in a different way. It's just an experience that you can't get here. It's an amazing experience. I'll take what I learned from this and my experiences from this for the rest of my life.
You can't understand the impact that a semester abroad can have on you until you've gone and experienced it. So I can try to explain it to you as best I can, and it might sound really great, but I'm telling you that you won't know until you go. So if you think about it, I promise you won't regret it.
God challenged me most by putting me in a different culture. I think especially in China, just being in places where you don't know how to communicate and you have to get used to different smells and sights and just ways of life.
And just how like there are people that are hungry for God, and that I need to have that same hunger for Him here.
I saw God's beauty in the people of the Dominican Republic and in their relationships there.
It's just like, wow, God created this for us to live in. Just that drive to just keep getting out and seeing more of the world and seeing more of God's creation and God's people.
How I want to see the world is not just poor countries, rich countries, but as God's people.
Realizing that God is so big, and sometimes I feel like I limit Him, or I think, oh, He's only moving here or in my life. But when I go to other countries and I see how God is moving in their lives, it's just like, wow, my God is so big.